Kohberger standing silent when the judge asked if he would enter a guilty or not guilty plea. At that point, the judge entered a not guilty plea on Bryan Kohberger's behalf. He read them through the procedural process of 5 counts. Count 1, burglary. Count 2, 3, 4, and 5, murder in the first degree in the deaths and murders of Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. The maximum penalty, in addition to a burglary charge up to 10 years, would be 4 consecutive life sentences and or the death penalty if he is found guilty. You can hear some sniffles in the courtroom. I know the families of the 4 University of Idaho students are in the courtroom as well. I believe we have NewsNation's Bryan Entin standing by. Bryan, what's it like in there and for these families as they prepared for this difficult day?
Yeah, Marni, I just stepped out. It was emotional. I mean, there were about 25 family members representing the 4 victims, which was a lot. There were a lot of people that I didn't even recognize that hadn't been to the hearings in the past. It was a very, very small courtroom, so they took up about half of the courtroom, all seated on one side. They were emotional even before court began, and then they brought Bryan Kohberger in right before they started the proceeding. And again, it's so small that where they were sitting was really very, very close to Kohberger. So it made for a somewhat uncomfortable situation, obviously, for them to be that close to the man accused of killing their loved ones. But they powered through it. You said you heard the sniffling. I mean, there was certainly crying. One thing that really struck me is Kaylee's sister, Olivia. Last time I interviewed her, she was pregnant. Well, she's now had the baby, and she had the baby with her in court, sort of strapped to her chest. So as they were doing all of this, you could sort of hear like baby cooing noises. And I think maybe that brought the family some support. I saw Kaylee's mom, Christy, go and sit next to her daughter and the baby. And I think that sort of lightened the mood a little bit. But the big news, obviously, he didn't officially enter a plea, so the judge entered a not guilty plea for him. And this trial has now been set October 2nd. Not far away at all, and they say it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks, Marni.
Bryan, this is the first time that we've seen Bryan Kohberger in court in the last couple of months. What did you notice about him? He said just a few words, yes, I do, yes, no, just going through the procedure of it all. What did he look like? How did he seem?
Yeah, in terms of how he looked, I mean, he looked about the same to me as last time I saw him, last time he was in court here a couple of months ago. I was really like paying attention to see, did he look skinnier? Did he look bigger? Were there any changes? He looked about the same to me. His hair looked a little bit longer. His build, it's hard to make out because he's wearing what appears to be some kind of like big, bulky, bulletproof vest or something like that. I don't know what the right name is, underneath the orange jumpsuit. So he looks a lot bigger than he actually is because you could tell it was a big vest underneath. And he sort of had the same demeanor as last time, came in very, very quiet, just sort of looked straight ahead at the judge. He had to answer those yes or no questions, and he did. And he, was very like sort of stern in the way he answered. He didn't just say like yes softly. I mean, you heard it. He answered very like he knew exactly what was going on. And they went through all the questions, and he never seemed to look back at any of the victims' families. I did not notice anyone from his family in court.
And another court date now set for October, correct, Bryan?
Yeah, not just a court date. I mean, the trial. The trial has now been set for October 2nd. Of course, there could be delays. Things could change between now and then. But both sides agreed and said they're ready to go October 2nd for a 4 to 6 week trial.
Chilling. All right, Bryan Entin in Idaho. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.